Let's talk about American dreams, restoring economic opportunity for everyone. A lot jumped out at me, especially some of the things you wrote about Hillary Clinton, who might be the Democratic presidential nominee going forward towards 2016. Another Clinton presidency, you write, would be a death blow to the American dream.
Yes.
All right, explain.
And I'll tell you why. Because first of all, we have to understand what's the challenges that are being faced today. And the challenge is that we were once a nation, like my parents experienced, where even if you had a limited education, you could find a job that paid you enough to make it to the American middle class and fulfill the American dream. That's becoming harder for people to do and increasingly hard for people to achieve. The reason is not because of a cyclical downturn, but a deep structural change to the very nature of our economy. Globalization, information technology, automation has destroyed many of these jobs or sent them overseas. New jobs are being created that pay more, but they require training and skills many of our people don't have, and the cost of everything keeps going up. These structural changes is what we have to deal with. You cannot deal with 21st century structural economic changes with 20th century policies and ideas, and that's what she's an advocate for.
You also write in the book, the election of Hillary Clinton to the presidency, in short, would be nothing more than a third Obama term.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't see any difference between President Obama
Well, there might be
and Hillary
semantical
Clinton.
differences, but at the end of the day, she supports all of his policies, especially his disastrous foreign policy. But it's about the same thing. Let's take our existing programs and spend more money into these programs. Or let's continue to raise taxes and increase regulations, even if they make us globally uncompetitive. And these things are not going to change the structural causes of this economic opportunity gap that millions of Americans now face.
The next 2 years, the Republicans are in the majority, not only in the House, but in the Senate as well. What do you think? Is there going to be some cooperation with the president, or is this going to be a disaster?
Look, I mean, the agenda that I outline in my book is one that I don't think necessarily has to be a partisan one. In fact, in the book, I outline examples of how I've worked with Chris Coons or Mark Warner or Cory Booker on a number of ideas that I think are bipartisan. I mean, the notion that everyone should have an equal opportunity to succeed is not necessarily a partisan one. I think how you achieve that sometimes becomes partisan. There will be issues that we have strong disagreements on. And at the end of the day, the reason why the American people elected a majority of Republicans in the House and in the Senate is because they disagreed with some of the policies that are in place, policies that Democrats have advocated for. And so why would we now turn our back on a clear mandate that came from the American people on those topics?
Do you want to be president of the United States?
Well, that's a decision I have to make here fairly soon. And I think it comes down to a very simple question. Where is the best place for me to achieve the agenda that's contained in my book and the other things I believe strongly in? Where is the best place for me to achieve that? Is it in the majority in the U.S. Senate, or is it running for president of the United States and ultimately succeeding, hopefully? That's a decision I have to make at this stage in my life. Where is the best place for me to achieve that agenda?
What does your family think?
Well, my family's in favor at this point of whichever choice we make. You know, that's a big consideration. It's my number one consideration after my faith, because I think it's, you know, their lives will change too. And we've surmounted that. I think it comes down to this very fundamental question of where can I best serve this country and pursue this agenda right now at this stage in my career.
When will you make that decision?
Well, obviously soon, in the sense that the practical implications of running a campaign require you to put together the organization and raise the money. I'm confident that if we decide to run for president, we will be funded, we will have the funding and the resources necessary to credibly run a campaign and win.
What about Mitt Romney? He's now telling donors he's seriously thinking of running.
And he's certainly earned the right to consider that, and if he decides to run, he too will be a very credible and well-funded candidate.
In a competition like that with Mitt Romney, Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, can you stand out?
Well, I think we're going to have an agenda, which is what I hope to run on, that will appeal to many people, and I believe we'll have the resources to communicate that. Ultimately, voters are going to choose who they want, beginning in some early primary states and moving on to the rest of the country.
So when you say soon, you have to make it, what is that, a matter of days, weeks, months?
I wouldn't say days, but certainly in months. I mean,
the longer you wait, the more difficult it becomes.
Sure,
right?
And so I know that there's a time, I mean, I don't have a date in mind or a month in mind yet, but certainly soon enough so that you can build the kind of campaign that it takes to win.
So you think within the next few weeks you might make a decision?
Yeah, soon. I'll let you know, I promise.
Okay.